Okay, based on recent events, you know what's going on. There are some sick cruise ship passengers already located here in the United States, and the federal government wants to move them to some other places. Well, in stories that broke over this weekend, there are two cities that are saying, Americans, not Americans, we don't want them. We don't want these people in our hometown, and they've gone to some great lengths to make sure that that doesn't happen. It's a tough call as a human being, right? You want people to get the best care possible, but do you want them right there in your hometown? In today's episode of the Lido Loca cruise show, we're going to break down that question. I'm going to tell you about two cities that said, no way, keep the sick passengers where they're at. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tony with the Lido Loca cruise show. I'm on location today. I'm here in St. Martin, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. We're docked right next to some containers. Check this out. It's really pretty though, the water, but it's a little industrial. You can't see the port. It's over there. But this story broke over the weekend. Of course, we know the story. Passengers off that Princess cruise ship coming to America, and they are unwell. And some of them went to California, some of them went to Texas, and some of the people that were the most sick, they went to Nebraska. Now the government's saying it's time to move these people again. We need to move some of these people over to Costa Mesa, California, and we need to move some of these people to Anniston, Alabama, which is about 90 miles away from Atlanta, where the CDC is headquartered. And the interesting thing is, it seems that the government was going to do this without making a lot of overtures to the local government. For example, in Alabama, the local officials there said they found out through social media, they found out through like a news brief that this was going to happen, and immediately they went into panic mode because they're like, we did not authorize these people to come to our area. The way it's playing out in California is immediately the mayor of Costa Mesa said, look, we're not down with this. They went and got an injunction against the federal government stopping the process of moving these passengers to Costa Mesa. There's going to be a hearing on Monday to see whether or not they can go forward. And in Alabama, the governor of Alabama reached all the way up the chain and asked the big man, hey, can you stop this from happening? Had an emergency session of the city council. People came and spoke. There were people that were heartfelt, like, I feel for these people that are sick, but what about my family? What about my kids? Are we putting people at risk by moving these people to this facility in Anniston, Alabama? And this all went down on Saturday, and by late Sunday evening, the government had relented. The word came down from on high that these sick passengers would not be moved to Alabama. Man, it's a quandary for sure. So you feel for these folks that came off of that Princess cruise ship that are not well, and they need to get the best healthcare possible. And so you have the healthcare officials saying, well, there's this facility in Alabama that could do the best job of taking care of these people. And Alabama says, no, there's a facility in Costa Mesa that could possibly give excellent care to these people, but they say no. It's a challenging situation in the United States. There's not that many reported cases of this illness. But what if that starts to ramp up, and now you have all these places that are saying, no, we don't want people to be treated here? It could be a mess. Hopefully, there's going to be some sort of containment. Hopefully that this will not spiral out. But as we've seen worldwide, numbers keep rising. The hope is that is not going to be true in the United States. But in the short term, you have these communities that are able to pull levers and say, not in our backyard, not in our town. I don't know how I feel, because part of it is, okay, do I trust the health officials that are scrambling in a brand new situation to make the best decisions? And as we've seen, not always make the best decision, putting more people at risk. Or do you come at it from a completely compassionate bent and say, look, if this is what they feel like, where they could get the best treatment, even if it is in my backyard, maybe I should relent and just hope for the best. It's scary. I mean, you can tell just from these stories that people are a little bit in self-preservation mode, and that's, it's no longer someplace over there. It's right here in the United States. I don't know, but I think it will continue to play out as you see the ripples of all across the globe, people leaving the Princess cruise ship, going back to their home countries. We see numbers rising everywhere. So This story will continue to develop, but I wanted to share it with you. Interesting if you go and do some research and see what happened in those two cases where significant local pushback against the federal government, and even jumping in and pulling in higher officials in the federal government to change the plans that were being made. What do you think? Let's continue the conversation in the comments. I'm on location on a cruise ship, having a good time, but very mindful of what's going on. And even on the cruise ship, there's been some things that have been a little uneasy. Stay tuned for another video on that. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you check out some of these other videos. This is Tony with the Lido Loca Cruise Show, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.